Alright, so you probably just saw my running video, and at this point, between the time I'm doing this video and the time that I ran that video, I had done some programming of the ESC, and I've also went around and every single metal bit on the kit I covered in marine grease. You know, better safe than sorry. Besides, marine grease is only like, what, $6 a small container. Anyways, what I did notice, which is actually pretty good, is when I opened up all the diff cases, I found that the whole case was greased, not too much, not too little, just right. And all the gears are greased, and even when I opened up the diffs, there was oil in them, which I found was pretty good. Now I haven't checked the shocks, just because I don't have any shock oil left after my last RC rendezvous. But whatever, I'll check on that a little bit later, anyways. But it wasn't, when I was doing my running video, I found that it was a little bit slow, but mainly that's because the 60 amp ESC, 7 cell nickel metal hydride. What can you do? It's not very fast, but put in a 2 cell, this thing will probably do quite a bit better. So when I change out the fan into a 3 cell, you probably have a whole lot better. But what I did notice though was I found one little problem with it. I found that one of the shock holsters, I don't know if you can see, alright, there. See, I had to put in washers as spacers because one of the shock holsters is much shorter. Now, it's probably just a flaw while during the assembly they probably got one of these tiny little ones mixed up with these while they're assembling them. No big deal, happens every now and then. Heck, when my uncle and cousin got their Savage XL, it wasn't running, and when they took it into the hobby shop, they found one of the gears was put in backwards. So, mishaps like that happen quite a bit. Anyways, found the failsafe works on the transmitter. I don't have the transmitter, but here it is. Like I said, it's only a 4 AA transmitter, and the failsafe on the transmitter and the receiver actually works. When it got out of range, it stops. Yeah. I also like the dual rate. How much force you got with your throttle or your steering. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. And it's just a simple thing. The only other thing I can really point out about this kit is the servo. Now, of course, all stock servos are pretty cheap. This one's not too bad, it's just a little slow. Let's see if we can turn it on for you for a second so you can see. I don't like these bullet connectors. Yeah. And it's also a little bit noisy, but if anything, you could just change out for a different servo. I know better servos aren't so expensive. But yeah, so for the price, it's a good kit. You probably want to build up on it a little bit, but that's probably what you're gonna do anyways. After all, with how much money you saved in buying it. But yeah, even as it is, it's a good kit, ready to run. It works just fine, and that's the end of my review series on it.